Good morning, class. I hope you're all doing well during this difficult time we're now facing. Today, I'll talk to you about a company that absolutely everybody knows, our partner when we are students and need answers, when we need to look for a recipe when we are hungry, or just when we want to know something. Google, the company that made it to the top, starting with a search engine and then adding a number of apps and platforms to its work like YouTube, Translator, Maps, Gmail, Drive, and even a browser, Google Chrome. Now I will address a bit of its history, its creators, and its most popular and known apps and services. So, all began in 1996, when two master's degree students of the Stanford University, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, wanted to create a search engine in order to organize all the information existing in the web. At first, they named it Backrub, but in 1997 they decided to change its name to Google, after a mathematical term which sounds just like Google, but it is spelled Googol, Google. However, the company itself was established on September 4th of 1998, and the search engine was premiered on September 27th of the same year. This search engine surpassed in a short period of time the other search engine in the web called AltaVista, which was created in 1995. The success of the idea of those students was such that they began to buy other online services and incorporate them as a Google service, like Deja News, which became into Google Groups, and Pilot Labs, which became into the site Blogger. Let's take a jump to 2004. 6 years after its beginning, on August 19, the company reached one of its most important milestones. They started to be present in the Wall Street Stock Exchange, with a starting supply of 25.7 million of shares that cost from $85 to $95 each. In 2005, Google bought another company really important for its present, Android. Then, in 2007, Google made it to the top. The company was considered the most valuable enterprise in the world, with a wealth of $66,000 million, surpassing Microsoft and Coca-Cola. Can you imagine that? Surpassing the most known drink in the world only with a service and not with a concrete product like Coca-Cola? In my opinion, that's simply amazing. So on, Google continued developing new technologies and buying other companies or services to increase its work. But behind all of this story of success, there are two people that made all of that possible. Let's talk a bit about Larry Page. His full name is Lawrence Edward Page, and he was born on March 26 of 1973 in East Lansing, Michigan. His mother, Gloria Page, is a programming lecturer at the Michigan University, and his father, Carl Page, was a professor of computer science and artificial intelligence at the North Carolina and Michigan universities, but he died in 1996. His passion for computers began when he was 6 years old, and his role model was Nikola Tesla. After establishing Google, he began to be awarded with a lot of titles. In 2002, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology's magazine, Technology Review, proclaimed Larry Page as World Economic Forum Global Leader for Tomorrow and Young Innovator who will create the future. Also, the Research and Development magazine named him as Innovator of the Year in 2004. But Larry also has time for love in his life as he is married with Lucinda Southworth, and they have 2 children. Whilst the other half of the company's success comes by the hand of Sergey Brin. His full name is Sergey Mikhailovich Brin, and he was born on August 21st of 1973 in Moscow, Russia, or the Soviet Union in that time. He arrived to the United States when he was 6 years old. His mother is Eugenia Brin, and his father, Mikhail Brin, is a math teacher. First, he got a degree in mathematical science and computer science. He graduated with honors. Then he entered to the Stanford University thanks to a scholarship. And there he met Larry Page and began its journey to create Google. He is married with the biotechnologist Ann Wojcicki, and they also have 2 children. There's something I forgot to mention. They never finished their studies in order to carry forward the idea of Google. Now, let's move on into the technologies that Google has developed in order to reach the position the company has nowadays. I would like to begin with the basis of their success in the present. I'm talking about Android. Android is a mobile operating system that Google enhanced after bought it, and it was designed for devices with touch screens like smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, and smart TVs. This operating system is the most used in the world, actually much more than Apple's iOS. Google has developed a variety of versions of the operating system. Something curious about them is that they name the versions after some candies or desserts, like the version 1.0 called Apple Pie, or the version 5.0 named Lollipop. And the versions 4.4 and 8.0 were named KitKat and Oreo respectively. Unfortunately, last year, Google announced that the following versions will not going to be named after desserts or candies. Therefore, the current version available of Android is called Android 10. The first mobile phone revealed with this operating system was the Nexus One and was developed by HTC Corporation. Now I would like to ask you if you know where the Android and Nexus names come from. These names come from a novel written by Philip K. Dick called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Maybe the novel doesn't sound familiar, but it has a movie adaptation called Blade Runner, starring Harrison Ford. You know him, right? Han Solo, Indiana Jones. Him. And also, the robot from the Android logo is named Andy. However, as I said before, Android is just the basis, because thanks to the operating system we have apps and services functioning mainly in our phones. Let's begin with YouTube. To be honest, you all know what's YouTube for, so I'm not going to bore you with that. Nevertheless, the video platform was not always a Google service. YouTube was created in 2005 by Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jod Karim. Yet Google bought the platform in 2006 on $1,650 million. The next service is Google Drive. Drive is a cloud storage service in which every user has 15 gigabytes of free storage. This service is really useful because you can upload to the cloud multiple documents in order to be able to download them in any other device that has Google Drive with your account. Another function is that you can share certain documents with other people that has a Google Drive account. But the most impressive purpose of this is that you can create a Microsoft Word-like document called Docs and edit it with multiple people at the same time. That's amazing, right? But the company had a few fails too. In 2011, Google launched its own social network called Google+. In that time, it was competing with the giant Facebook and the other top social networks on the internet like Instagram, Tumblr, and Twitter. Although it reached 343 million of active users, it wasn't enough, and it was shut down for public in 2019. Anyways, the social network is still functioning as a corporate app. Furthermore, another achievement of Google is their email platform, Gmail. This platform was launched in 2004. In that time, it was really difficult to get an account because you need to get an invitation from another Gmail user, but that's no more since February of 2007. From then on, anybody who wants a Gmail account is able to create it. The success was such that in 2012, The platform reached 425 million of users, highly surpassing the most used email service by that time, Microsoft Outlook. Well, with all of this information and the achievements that Google has gotten so far, we know that Google will keep going on creating new technologies and improving them even more. As a personal thought, I'm really curious about what will this amazing company bring for us in the near and far future. Who knows what will be the new limits that the technology will surpass, and how Google will use that in its favor in order to surprise us. Thank you for listening. I hope you stay safe and healthy.